Hi, this is Mike Hendrickson from Strata Santa Clara. I'm here with Paul Kent. Paul, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having us.
So you're with SAS.
That's right.
And you guys last year announced a new visual analytics tool. How has the journey been in the last year?
Actually, it's been fantastic. We've been working on this idea that the abundance of compute power, gunpowder I like to call it, that a cluster brings to you, so much more memory, so many more processing threads. What could you do with that now? And our visual analytics software, big push on it in 2013. We're out well over 1,000 customers in the first year of pushing it, and response has been very, very positive.
Are there any industries or verticals that seem to be more interested in in-memory analytics, that sort of thing?
Well, anybody with data, and so historically our revenues have been 40% financial services, and that trend follows. The banks have long time learned that they can collect a lot of data and make intelligent decisions out of it, look for patterns in the whether they're trying to catch bad guys, fraud, or the whole fraud thing, or they're trying to understand the behavior of their customers and approach them in a more positive manner, pitch products to customers that they actually want. But there's been some very interesting stuff in public organizations, in government, where the data is actually quite readily available, but it's not often easy for the folks in those places to put it together and use it, visualize it, bring a couple of things together and try and present a story to change people's minds on things. So we've got some success there in government organizations where it's not that the data wasn't available, it's just that it wasn't easy to consume or manipulate or understand, and so probably that's a surprise, if you will.
Yep.
And also the governments tend to almost leapfrog generations of technology. They were big on mainframes and they missed out in the client server era, so they were early to the internet, and they're actually quite early adopters of a cluster, of a big pool of resources that you share.
So are they getting it? Is it easy for them to transition to this new in-memory analytical environment, or is it a more difficult journey for them?
No, I think that's it's obviously an opportunity for the software vendors to make it when you've got a pool of incumbents, to make it easy for them to grow up to the new way of doing it. But when you have so much more compute power, you can actually do things this year that you never dreamed of doing 5 years ago. So when you're asked to fit a model to data, or draw a line through it, you can do 5 or 6 different forecasting techniques in the blink of an eye and choose the best one and present that to the guy. Whereas 5 years ago, he would have to be more of an expert in the different ways of doing a forecast, choose the right model, understand the dangers of that kind of mathematics, and be more of an expert user. Now the software itself can try all the techniques, look at the diagnostic information that comes out of those techniques, and proceed with the best model. All in the because there's so much this abundance of resources allows us to try lots of things, throw half of it away, and proceed with the promising parts.
So abundance, there are probably an abundant amount of visual analytical tools.
Yes.
So what would a secret sauce or a special feature of your tool be that differentiates you from other tools?
Well, what you find is the higher value. To get higher value, you have to provide the whole food chain of things, from acquiring the data, from cleansing it, or from it's never cleaned perfectly. There's always a comma in the wrong place, or some joker put a 99 because he doesn't know how old you are, but that's his secret code for I don't know, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to go through that stage of cleaning up your data. Usually that's not enough first time around. You say, wow, but if I could mix this data that I've got here with that other data I've got over there and join it in some interesting way on some common variable, I have a richer data set now, and I can get more information out. So that whole journey of learning, back to square one, I need more data, clean that up a bit, join it up, oh, that's not right, that whole backwards and forwards or iteration, a tool that can encompass more of the whole chain is a more valuable tool. So that's one of the advantages of something like SAS being at it for a very long time. We've got well-oiled techniques in many of those categories or many of those areas along the production. Once you get a good model, it makes great predictions about what people want. It's not useful until you can put it on a web page. So it actually, you go to the website and it offers you, hey, wouldn't you like to buy one of these as well? You're shopping for golf clubs. What else are we going to suggest that you put in your shopping cart?
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, Paul, this is more of a personal answer from you, not from SAS or anyone else.
Yeah.
If data could solve one problem in the world, what would that problem be?
It's an interesting question, and you warmed me up for it a little bit in the beginning. My roots, I grew up in Africa, and I think probably one of the things data is doing is leveling out the opportunities for people. Maybe it's not data so much as the internet in general. It's allowing people to contribute to projects from literally all corners of the globe, and that phenomenon, the massively online courses, MOOCs and things, I think it's just training people to be inquisitive, to don't trust what the big guy told you, what the government told you necessarily. Go into the information and make sense of it for yourself. Yeah. And actually, I think we're going to see some very interesting advances there as it broadens the net of people who can contribute to things like this. I don't know whether the first breakthroughs will come through in healthcare, or whether the whole phenomenon of everybody starting to censor up. Everyone's got a Fitbit or their application that tracks them as they ride their bike. Everybody's going to become a bit more aware of what you can do to measure over time, and what you can make of it if it's relatively inexpensive to amass a lot of samples or a lot of people like that. So probably something in health.
Yes,
but I think that's probably the popular answer as well. So,
well, that's a good answer. So, Paul, we look forward to seeing what you and your colleagues at SAS do in the future. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me.
Thanks.